Good afternoon, boys and girls. Happy Monday. Welcome to another reading lesson with Miss Brown. Today's book is Gabe and the New Teacher. So get your writing books and let's get ready to head up. Okay, so today we are going to be doing book number 79, Gabe and the New Teacher. Today's date is Monday, January 11, 2021. Okay, so you can press pause just to head up. You don't have to worry about writing this just yet. Okay. All right, so this is another Miss O's class series. So remember, a series is when there are several books with similar characters or movies with similar characters. So in this one, Miss O is actually away from the children, so she has to get a substitute teacher. So when your regular classroom teacher has to step away from their regular duties and you have to get a substitute teacher, do you look forward to getting a substitute teacher? Do you have favorite substitute teachers? Sometimes we have people that come into our buildings regularly, but other times teachers in the school building, some of the, like the music teacher, Miss Brown, Mr. Edwards, Ms. Tooby, might have to sometimes in emergency sub for your class. So do you like having a substitute teacher, or is it really uncomfortable when your teacher's not there? So you would have probably read this book already, but Gabe is a trickster. He's a jokester, he's a prankster. He likes to play pranks on his teachers and his friends. So in this book, Miss O is not there, and so he is so excited because he wants to play a prank on the substitute teacher. But he doesn't realize that it's actually one of his friend's aunts, and he actually likes her quite a bit. So he has to kind of unravel, he kind of has to backtrack on his original plan. So you guys are excellent readers. I'm going to read a little bit of this with you just to refresh your brains. But we've been talking a lot about character traits. And remember, character traits are words that describe a character based on things that the character says, actions, the way that other characters think about that character. So we've been doing quite a bit of work on that. So as we're reading through the book, or as you're reading through the entire text, I want you to think of some traits that describe Gabe at the beginning of the story, during the middle of the story, because it kind of changes a little bit, and then at the end of the story, because his character actually changes over time. Okay, he starts off one way, then he kind of finishes up a different way, a slightly different way. So at the end of this book, this is the comprehension activity that I want you to think of, the writing. Okay, so you learned a lot about Gabe's character in this book. He is not just a jokester. Think of some character traits that describe Gabe over the course of the text. And in the last lesson, I actually sent you a link, or I think it might have been 2 lessons ago, I actually sent you a link with a list of character traits. There are maybe close to 50, maybe even more than that, character traits. That might help if you get stuck. So you can put me on closed caption. I'm going to read a little bit of this book with you, then you're going to read the rest on your own, and you're going to have a tackle at the writing activity. Okay, so Gabe and the New Teacher. So the students in Miss O's class are Max, Tony, Amanda, Mrs. O is the teacher, Gabe, and Sasha. Okay, so 5 sections. Chapter 1, Gabe's plan. Chapter 2, getting ready. Chapter 3, first time teacher. Chapter 4, the math test. And chapter 5, all in fun. Okay, so chapter 1, Gabe's plans. One Tuesday afternoon, Mrs. Ockerblum called a class meeting. My mother isn't feeling well and needs my help, she said. So for the next 2 days, you will have a different teacher. Will we still have the math test tomorrow? Tony asked. A lot of the kids had questions like that, but Gabe just leaned back and smiled. You can look at his expression right there. What's a word that you would use to describe his expression? Mischievous, maybe? A bit mischievous. Mrs. O saw the smile. She gave him her look. It was a look that meant, I'm keeping my eye on you. I know each of you will help your substitute teacher in every way, she said. Everyone nodded except Gabe. He was already making plans. On the way to the buses, Gabe said, I wonder who our teacher will be. "Why do you want to know?" Amanda asked him. She gave him a look, almost like Mrs. O's look. Amanda was smart, and Gabe could hardly ever fool her. "You and your silly jokes," she said. "What are you planning?" Gabe shrugged. "Just wondering," he said. Chapter 2, Getting Ready. As soon as Gabe got home, he started to get ready for the next day. He got out his big backpack. He thought about the fill-in teachers he knew. Then he began to make a list. Mrs. James takes shoes off after lunch, glue shoes to the floor. Gabe looked in every drawer in his house until he found some strong glue. He put it in his backpack. Now, if you glued one of your substitute teacher's shoes to the floor, what do you think would happen? He's quite brave. I don't know. Gabe poked through his brother's magazines until he found the newest soccer magazine. He added that to his pack. If Mr. Stern got talking about soccer, he'd never stop. When Mrs. Mitchell came to their class, she always lost her reading glasses. Both Gabe's mom and dad wore really strong glasses. If Gabe left some of their old pairs of glasses on Mrs. O's desk and Mrs. Mitchell put them on, that could really mix her up. Gabe found 4 old pairs of glasses and stuffed them into his pack. Then he added some all-purpose tricks. He had a sticker that looked like a smash window. That would make any teacher nervous. He added a whoopee cushion too. And at the back they actually explain what a whoopee cushion is, how it started. He could blow it up and put it on the teacher's chair. As soon as the substitute sat down, everyone would hear, "Pfft." That sound always made people laugh. And it embarrassed the one who sat on it. Now he was ready for any teacher. He even had a little time left over to study for the math test. All right, so at this point, I want you to continue reading Gabe and the New Teacher, so you can put me on pause. Okay, so you've had enough time to finish Gabe and the New Teacher, and I want you now to think about the writing activity. Okay, so Gabe had a change of heart once he realized that he actually liked the teacher, and she was a really kind teacher, and it was her first time actually teaching a regular class. He changed his views. He changed his opinion on what he wanted to do. So, like I said, think about some character traits to describe Gabe at the very beginning of the story and how he changed, how his character changed as you read the story. And I want you to write in your books, comprehension, or writing rather. You learned a lot about Gabe's character in this book. He is not just a jokester. Can you close my door, please, you two? Think of some character traits that describe Gabe over the course of the text. All right, so you can get that sheet that I sent you a link of. I want you to tell me, just explain some character traits that you think describe Gabe and tell me why. All right, so that is our lesson for today. I'm not going to post a lesson tomorrow or Wednesday because I need to work on those gate scores, plugging in some numbers. If you are able to drop your book off to me at school, it's a box by the front with my name on it. That would be great so I can have a look at what you've done over the last week. But if not, I will get it from you on Wednesday when I see you. Okay, so thank you for coming to visit me once again. I hope that you learned something new or got to practice something new. And I hope that you have a wonderful rest of the day. See you very, very soon. Bye.